What's good, y'all? I'm at your brand new top 10s video now. Little context before we jump right in, boys. As you guys can tell, I am extremely late with this video. First off, I would like to apologize to you guys for the two of you who actually clicked on this video that were actually morbidly curious about what my top 10 animes of 2019. Yeah, so funny story with this one. This actually, not only was I extremely late with uploading it, but better late than never, I suppose. But I was extremely late with recording because I actually did not record this video till September of last year. So yeah, pretty late. And it was mostly just just from how long until we recorded and everything, just with college and everything, I just kept pushing it back and some other things. Eventually, I just like, fuck it, I'll just have it come along, and I'll edit it and upload it when I do my top 10 movies of 2010s list. I'll have them both come out back to back. Decide. So that is why this video took so long. This video is, of course, the footage actually quite old. It's back when I still had my beard, full beard, not, thankfully it's growing back right now, but then, it was full grown and everything. My hair was a lot longer, of course. I was back in my old place and everything. But yeah, sorry, once again, sorry guys, this video took so long for the couple of you that were actually still curious. Hope those were the ways and you enjoyed the video. But anyway, guys, yeah, enjoy the video. What's good, y'all? Brand new top 10 video this time. Finally, I'm giving you guys my top 10 anime series of 2019. So without further ado, let's just begin. Now, first off, number 10 on my list, we have Demon Slayer. Now, this of course was probably the biggest anime coming out of this year. At least new, that was definitely the most popular. This one that won this dominate the Crunchyroll Anime Awards. Fortunately, I was hoping Vinland Saga would get a couple more wins, but hey, I digress, man. Now, me personally, I love Demon Slayer. I thought it was a fantastic show. The animation was god tier. Throughout a lot of it, rewatching it was it was a joy to rewatch it again once an Aaron Shinobu was dubbed. It was by the dub cast for this show was fantastic. I usually say this a lot of time, but the dubs that are done a lot better. So whoever voices Zunichi in the dub, man, I'm slipping on the man thing. That man deserves a fucking raise for all the screaming he does. And when that man screams his section, I'm just like, god damn, man, man goes in. But yeah, man, Demon Slayer. Can't wait for the movie when that's coming out. I think late this year, if not next year. Definitely look forward to catching that. Hopefully, I don't know if I will, but I'll have to wait and see on that. But yeah, man. Demon Slayer, fantastic show. Definitely look forward to season 2 whenever that drops. I guess after the film or whenever the film is season 2, whatever. I'm looking forward to watching whatever the continuation of Demon Slayer is after the move between the movie and all that shit. But yeah, love this show. Thought it was great. Not as definitely not my favorite this year because, like I said, it's at the bottom of the list. But it's still a fantastic show in its own right. Number 9 on my list, we have Dr. Stone. This was kind of a bit more of a surprise to me because James Hansen was praised this series in the coming weeks before it started, before the anime started. Then once started, I fell in love with it, with the characters. If you're someone that's definitely been kind of falling out of love with the mainline shonen series lately, definitely give Dr. Stone a try because it's definitely not your typical shonen series, I think. But yeah, man, I love Senku, what the hell's her name? Kohaku. Kohaku is definitely best girl. I really think probably the thing I loved about this film was the series was definitely the characters, but the setting as well and the story it tells. Because at first it starts out it's just just us figuring out how to live in this I guess you can call it post-apocalyptic world. I guess you can call it that. I'm not sure if you actually would, but once we get to the second half, the series definitely finally figure out what's gonna do because that's when it starts getting a little more emotional. We find out about Senku's past is and all that shit, and when we actually once we actually see how it happened from another perspective, when we get to Senku's dad and everything, it is. I'm like, damn, I'm seeing it from their perspective and all that shit. So yeah, man, I'm definitely very hyped for season 2 of Dr. Stone because I can't wait to see where all these characters go and all that shit. Because I legit love this series, man. It's fantastic. Definitely one of the best new shonen series that come out. in recent weeks. Definitely one of the best ones. Number 8 on my list, we have Kaguya-sama. This show, I fucking love. I fucking love the Kaguya-sama. I still have yet to watch season 2. I have not had the chance to watch season 2 yet. I've been busy with a lot of other shit. Haven't had the time to sit down and watch it, but I will. I love this show, man. It is absolutely entertaining. Like, Kaguya-sama is Death Note if it was a rom-com. I love the dynamic between Kaguya-sama and I'm slipping on the man's name. But when we get to him and like those two butting heads on trying to get the other one to confess to them, and just the ways they do it, just the best parts are definitely when that when what's his name? I'm gonna have his name right here. What's his name? Just starts going crazy with the narrations. He's just like, what? Nani? How does she do this? And then it's so Death Note when you have Light Kira with like these like 10 minute long just monologues of them narrating about how their plan is, about how they're gonna activate their plan, and he's giving you like in depth, like, and he's giving you like a play-by-play on how it's gonna go down and everything. It's just so funny, and the rest of the supporting cast is just fantastic as well, man. I just love this show, one of the funniest animes I've seen in a long time. I was dying of laughter watching this show throughout its runtime, and I'm definitely excited to watch season 2. The OP is also fucking fire as well. Oh, lonely Mishkara, kono Mishkara. Love it. Absolutely love it. So that's why it's number 8 on my list. Number 7 on my list is Baki. Now, this was, of course, the big show that came out from Netflix. Now, actually, when I saw this, because this was the biggest reason that this video took so long to make, because I was just finding time to get through all the animes I finished up, that I missed out on, that I didn't finish from last year, and watching Baki, is that I thought this was going to be a lot more like, this was going to be like Devilman Crybaby in terms of quality. Because Devilman Crybaby was like the biggest surprise for me as an anime when I watched, because I heard it was good, but then when I saw it, I'm like, yo, this shit's really good. Hell, the show almost made me cry at one point. You know, like I think I mentioned that in my review, my top 10 list for last year's anime as well. When that happened, I watched that. So I was kind of hyped for this one, and I had already seen Sarai Patch's Wolf video on this show before this. I practically forgot by the time I actually started watching the show. But I was kind of like expecting, but I was hoping it to be in terms of that quality of Devilman Crybaby. Now, I wouldn't say this was in terms of that level, because to see how low it listened, and Devilman Crybaby was like my top 3 for last year's list. But Baki was overall a fantastic show in its own right. First of all, like I said, this has one of the best first episodes I've ever seen. Legit, like when we get to like the setup and you have all these different like characters that are gonna come to Japan to taste defeat, to finally taste defeat. And I was like, yo, this is hype. I was like I said, I thought it was gonna be a lot more in terms of quality of Devilman Crybaby. And I thought it was gonna be one where it was gonna be like a tournament between Baki versus all these guys, but then it ended up just becoming a bunch of street fights. And Baki wasn't even in the show half the time. I'm like, he was not, like, he's the title of the show, but he's not in the show that often, at least at the start. He definitely gets a little bit more screen time as the show goes on. Still a fantastic series. I wouldn't say I was necessarily disappointed with the show, but I guess I kind of was, because it wasn't as good as I thought it was going to be. But I think season 2 is going to be a lot closer to what I expected it to be, judging from how this first season ended, which I still have yet to watch. But it's still a fantastic show in its right. And even if I was disappointed, it was only a little bit. This still is a fantastic show that I would highly recommend everyone to check out if you guys have not already. The dubcast also is fantastic. Jeremy Lin's in the dubcast, so fuck yes for that one, definitely. You guys know how much I love her voice. Voicing awesome, of course. So yeah, man, like the rest of the cast was great, and having all these characters wanting to taste defeat, and Baki himself as a character was great. I love the relationship between Baki and fuck, I'm slipping on her name as well. I'm slipping on a lot of characters' name, but but I love their relationship and just I love Baki because for a couple of scenes they happened. You guys probably know which one I'm talking about if you guys have seen the show. And then a couple times I've seen Baki's dad was also really cool. Definitely fantastic series that I highly recommend you guys check out if you guys have not already. And now, number 6 on my list, we have The Promised Neverland. This show was fantastic. Like, this was obviously a show that this was probably one of the more hyped seasons or hyped shows for this year because of the manga. everyone was saying that, oh, I remember seeing so many videos before the anime. I don't even know if this was before the anime got announced or maybe right when it got announced. But people are posting videos in the manga like, oh, this is the next Death Note, this is this and this. And I didn't read the manga, then I saw the show and I'm like, oh yeah. Because I love the mystery of it all after the first episode. Ray, Norman, and Emma, their journey of them trying to figure out how to get out of this place. And you got Isabella, and then you got Sister Crone coming in midway through the show, and you got the other supporting cast. That season, like shit gets crazy. The suspense is there, man. Like if you're definitely like Death Note, you will love The Promised Neverland. It is a fantastic show, and I'm so excited to see season 2 whenever that comes out, because this show, first season, was absolutely fucking fantastic. I can't wait to see what's next in store after they finally made it out there, and now we're back, and now we're inside the larger world, see where all that's going down, unfold Emma and Ray and the crew. I'm really curious to see where this goes. I've seen some of the manga covers, some later issues, and some later volumes, and I'm just like, ooh, shit looks like it's gonna get crazy. So yeah, I'm definitely excited to see where this is gonna go, because season 1 was fantastic, man. I absolutely loved it, especially around the end of it. This man, this shit get crazy. Woo-wee. But yeah, man. So that's why it's number 6 on my list. Number 5 on my list, we have Mob Psycho Season 2. Mob Psycho Season 1, I thought was fantastic. I love the fight. The fights were definitely probably the best parts of it. The characters with Mob and some of the other characters was also really good, but if there's one thing that Season 2 of Mob Psycho excelled at, it was definitely the characterization. This show was a lot more character-driven, I would say, than Season 1 was. It's focused a lot more on the characters, Mob especially, with Reagan. Are the two biggest characters to definitely get the most development throughout the show. Mob especially, where you figure out of how he could have turned out, and just like how important his friends really are. And the fights, of course, are fantastic once again. But this show was definitely a lot more story driven, a lot more emotional than I would say Season 1 was, and definitely a lot more character focused with Mob's character being probably one of the bigger focuses of this season. So yeah, I don't know if we've got an announcement for Mob Psycho Season 3 yet. Hopefully we do, because I'd like to see some more of this, because I've been really digging this show. And that is why it's number 5 on the list. Number 4, we have probably one of the sleeper hits of the year, Dororo. I absolutely love this show, man. This was like first of Asian Kung Fu Generation to the second OP, so that's already makes it one of the best. That already makes a 10 out of 10 series for that fact alone. But I love the second. I love anime series that take place in the samurai feudal Japan era. I've been watching Blades of the Immortals and shows that I've watched. Haven't finished that one. I think I got like 2 episodes left of that show before I'm done with that. But love shows. I love my samurai shows. I love shows in that era. I love the characters of Dororo and Higa. I think his name was. And I just love the other supporting characters as he's trying to get his body back and all that shit. And I just can't wait to see. No, that was the end of season. I was going to say I can't wait to see for season 2. Whether it's no season 2, it ends conclusively at the end. But yeah, man, I just love the story, how it went down with his past, his family that abandoned him to sacrifice him for the greater good of the land. From Doga, I think his name was. But yeah, man, the final battle between him and his half brother or whatever. That was some good shit. I just loved this show, and the voice acting was superb, and this show is fantastic. If you guys ended up sleeping on this show, for wherever it aired, definitely check it out. It's available on Amazon, I believe, is where you can get it, stream it legally. Definitely remind you, it's a fantastic show. And that is why it's number 4 on my list. Number 3. Now we get to the big boys. Number 3 on my list is Attack on Titan Season 3 Part 2. Fuck me, was this absolute insanity. Y'all saw this movie, for God's sakes, I made a damn near 50-minute long review, or might have been 50 minutes long review for one of the later episodes in the second half. That's how crazy this shit got. Y'all got me talking about an episode for 50 straight fucking minutes. That is how crazy. I did reactions for pretty much the entire series. God, I'd be here all day if I was to discuss in depth why I love this season so much. I'll just say that I love this show, at least the second half of Season 3, because it completely changes the game for Attack on Titan. Where Attack on Titan was in Season 1 is completely different to where it is now. And of course, we got the final season coming out in December, I believe, which I can't wait to watch that. That's going to be fucking awesome. But yeah, man, Eren as a Eren, Mikasa, Armin, you know, Grisha, fucking Historia, Levi, the Erwin, my god, with this fucking speech, which is even better than the dub. I didn't even know that was possible. This show was just absolute insanity, man, and I just love it. I can't wait for season 4 when that drops. This is definitely the best season of Attack on Titan by far. I love the characters and what happened with the character development for all of them. The animation, oh my god, the animation. I'm sad to see that Wit Studios isn't doing the show anymore. It's in the hands of Mappa now, which is also another really good studio, so I'm sure it's good. I don't know if it's going to look as good as Season 3. Hopefully it does, because my god, the animation there was some god-tier shit. Oh my god, the animation with like Levi versus the Beast Titan. Boys! Boys! That shit was crazy, man. And just once we finally learned the backstory of like the Titans and everything, man, the game was changed, and everyone we found figure what's in that damn basement. Anyway, man. So yeah, man, that is why Attack on Titan Season 3 Part 2 is number 3 on my list. Now, the final two, second one, then we're gonna get to the honorable mentions. Then I'll give you guys my number ones here. But I already know people are gonna give me shit for this one, but I don't give a damn. So, ladies and gentlemen, number 2 on my list is Vinland Saga. I know some of y'all are wondering what the fuck Vinland Saga is number 2, what in the blue hell is number 1? If y'all know me, you already know what it is, but I will explain. But Vinland Saga, my god, what can I say about Vinland Saga? First off, the OP is a god tier, and the animation is fantastic once again from Wit Studios. But definitely what was probably the best part of the show is that this was like a scene in manga done right, like Berserk. Like you saw all the memes from like Berserk fans or whatever that were like kind of salty that how their show turned out compared to Vinland Saga. But I just love the story of this series, you know, with Askeladd, Thorfinn, their relationship and how it all went down. That was the driving Thor's. My god, Thorfinn was probably the highlight. That man, his character arc throughout the whole series was fantastic, man. And there's still no word on a season 2, but I am very confident that we will get a season 2, hopefully. But yeah, man, I am very confident we will indeed get season 2. And if for some reason y'all slept on this show, please do yourself a favor, watch Vinland Saga. It is an amazing, amazing series, man. I absolutely cannot recommend this show enough. One of the best anime series I've ever seen, man. Vinland Saga is that fucking good. Just watch it. Watch it. So now let's move on to some honorable mentions. Now, first honorable mention we have up here is to the Abandoned Sacred Beast. This was definitely the most underrated series of the year, definitely, hands down. Like next to nobody was talking about this series, and just this show, man, is just fucking amazing. Like I said, this was definitely the most slept, and I was so disappointed this didn't. I was hoping that this show would make the list, but like Glass, it ended up being one of this most disappointing series / movie that I was most disappointed that didn't end up making my list. Was this show because it was so underrated. Nobody was talking about it, and it was such a good series. Now, there's still no word if we'll ever get a season 2, but if push comes to shove, I'll read the manga and continue on because I absolutely love this series. I love the characters. I love Hank and his role with him being like the leader of these like sacred beasts and like this army or whatever, and then of course having to kill his former comrades because they lose their humanity, become the beast, and become just fully beast. And just everything that happened with the rest of the characters, like Nancy, and the rest of the crew, man. Just a fantastic series that I would highly recommend you guys check it out if you guys did not see it. It's available on Crunchyroll, so watch it, please. Please! This show needs more attention than it ended up getting because it's so fucking good. But yeah, man. Another honorable mention we got here, of course, is Fire Force. This, of course, came from the same manga as Soul Eater, which you guys know me. I fucking love Soul Eater. Fantastic show. This show was also great. It's amazing. It's all right. By the way, Tamaki is best girl. I love Shinra, definitely. I loved him as a main character. I loved what he was doing. I love him with like the rest of the cast. Of course, Tamaki, I loved her. Maki was great in her own right, and you got Arthur. I love the banter between him and Shinra. I love what happened later on in the series. Once it gets like I forgot what they're called. But yeah, let's say when the big bad when we fought there, who like were gonna be like the main villains of the series or whatever, finally get introduced. It's crazy, man. And the animation was god tier once again, man. Like Fire Force is fantastic. Like if you guys love Soul Legion, you guys did not watch the show, give it a watch. It's fantastic. I love Fire Force. I'm looking forward to seeing season 2 when it airs in I believe October on Toonami, because I ended up skipping because I didn't get the chance to watch while it was airing, so I was just like, I'll just wait till it airs on Toonami and watch it then. So, yeah. So, another one we got is Kakigurui Season 2. Or Kakigurui XX, I think is what it's called. I don't know. But I loved Season 1 of Kakigurui. I don't know if I would say that the second season was better or not, but it was around the same quality. I love Kakigurui. I love Yumiko. The woman's batshit insane, and I was just like, when she starts getting her freak on the bone. The dub for Kakigurui is fine. Whoever voices Yumiko, she is fantastic. But I love, the Gambles because they got a lot more in depth in this series. They're a lot more advanced and a little bit more crazier in the second season than they were in the first season. And some of the new characters we ended up getting introduced, I ended up loving. And I hope this gets a season 3. I think we might actually get a season 3 for this series, but I hope we do, because I absolutely love Kakigurui. I actually own, I think I actually have the first volume of it on the first manga volume. I'm not the first 2, if not, but I definitely have the first one. Yeah, man, I love Kakigurui, and I hope that we do eventually get a season 3, because this show is fantastic and I can't get enough of it. So hopefully we get a season 3, because I've been loving it. We also get another honorable mention we have is One Punch Man Season 2. I honestly don't get the hate for this series. I honestly don't get the hate for Season 2. Yes, I did like a whole first impressions of it when Episode 1 dropped on Toonami, and I'm just like, yeah, it doesn't look as good, but still the same One Punch Man. And then as the series goes on, we get introduced to Goro. When we get introduced to him, he's like one of my favorite characters in the series. And Saitama, he's great. And once again, Genos is fantastic. And the rest of the cast is fantastic. King, I loved King because I thought, and his, the heartbeat of like being like the beat of death or whatever it was. Once we find out that he's just a complete fraud, he's not the super badass here. He's just some guy that got lucky, that was at the right place at the right time, I guess. He was great. I love the entire cast of One Punch Man, and I hope that we end up getting a season 3 for this show, because it's fantastic. I love One Punch Man. I honestly don't get the hate for season 2. Like, yeah, it doesn't look as good as season 1. It's not done by Madhouse, and even then, apparently the director had to like call it like a shit ton of favors or whatever for season 1 to look as good as it ended up looking. But yeah, man, like JC Staff did a pretty decent job. It had its moments around the later half, but yeah, Goro was fantastic. Saitama, Genos, King, all the new characters were great, and I just hope that we get a season, because I love One Punch Man. I love this world, and hopefully we see more of it in the future. So yeah, another honorable mention we got is Tagaki-san Season 2. This one actually fell under the radar because I was shocked to find out that actually Netflix bought the license for the Season 2, and they were the ones that were licensing it out instead of like Funimation or Crunchyroll, because it was like nowhere to be seen on either side. I don't know why Netflix got Season 2, but not Season 1, but whatever. I saw Season 1 when it aired. Obviously, I watched it. Fantastic would argue that I think I like Tagaki-san Season 2 a little bit more, because we get a little bit more into Tagaki-san relationship with the MC of the show. I love the banter between two. Like, this is like Death Note with kids, essentially. And I just love it, especially like that last episode where they were starting to low-key start making some moves, low-key. And I was like, hell yeah, that's my boy. So yeah, I hope we do. This is another show I hope we get a season 3 for, because I love it. It's a super cute series that I recommend you guys check out. If you're into slice of life anime, I definitely recommend you guys give this a watch, because it's really fun. It's a nice little cute series. I love it. So, another one. We got two. Another honorable mention we have is how heavy are the dumbbells you lift. This is actually from the same studio that did New Game, which I know I love New Game. This show is fantastic. It was a nice little slice of life series where you have the MC of the show. She's a little chubby and she wants to lose weight, and then she joins the gym, and of course shenanigans going from there when she's trying to lose weight. She has some new characters to introduce. It's a nice. If you like New Game, you'll like this series. If you like slice of life, these like cute little slice of life series like this, if you like New Game, like I said before, I definitely want you to check this show because it's also really good. It's also it's like Dr. Stone, where it's also very educational. You'll learn something after you're done, so you'll leave a little bit smarter. But yeah, man. I love this show. I thought it was a really nice. I wouldn't say it was as good as New Game, but it's just my bias towards New Game talk. I just love New Game so much. It's probably my favorite slice of life anime. If you were asked, I would probably say it's New Game because I love that show, man. It's so good. If you guys have not seen New Game, I recommend you guys check it out. Both seasons are fantastic. But yeah, man. Yeah, not really much more to say other than it's it's a really good slice of life series. And then the final honorable mention we have is Food Wars: The Fourth Plate. Food Wars, man. Oh man, did this become like a completely different series with season 3, didn't it? Like seasons 1 and 2, you had like tournament arcs with them, them cooking and whatever, nothing too crazy. Then season 3, we find out about Erina's dad, and shit hits the fan. He's like now running fucking Shujin or whatever the school's called, and now they're on a train. First off, Rindo is best girl. Let's get that out of the way first. Rindo is best girl. And one thing I definitely loved about the show is that, first off, this is when Food Wars actually started to get serious for once, which they never really did before this in the first 2 seasons, which I like. I thought that was a nice little change of pace for the series when it did go to a little bit more serious. And it focused a lot more on Erina as a character and kind of her backstory, and her relationship with Soma and the rest of the cast, which I've always been someone that shipped Soma with Megumin, but I know people were all. I think there's also a group of people that also ship Soma with Erina. I'm not hardcore with either one of them. I thought Megumin just makes more sense. But I'm not gonna lie, if by the end of the show they end up going with Erina and Soma, I actually wouldn't mind that because I really dug their dynamic and their relationship throughout these last 2 season 4s. I still have not yet to see season 5. But I really dug what they did with those two, with their relationship in season 4, working together against the system. Love this show. Of course, like I said before, Rindo is best girl. She was probably the highlight of this season, man. And I'm looking forward to watching season 5 of it. Can't wait to see that. And yeah, I like the nice little change of pace of this series when they take a more serious approach. Curious to see how season 5 is going to follow that up, but we'll find out when I finally watch it. And now for my number 1 pick. What was my overall favorite anime of 2019? And I already know I'm gonna get tons of shit for this, but fuck it. My number 1 pick, my favorite anime of this year, of 2019, was SAO Alicization. Now before y'all lynch me, start lynching me, I already know what some of y'all gonna say. Rage in the comment section, demanding an answer of how the fuck do I think this is better than Vinland Saga? How is Vinland Saga number 2? How is it not number 1? Now let me explain. Now, very much like what Daredevil Season 3 and Luke Cage Season 2 is, where I would say Daredevil Season 3 is objectively the better season with its writing, its characters, and all that shit. Daredevil Season 3 is amazing. I prefer Luke Cage Season 2 just slightly, mostly for its supporting cast. I love the supporting cast of Luke Cage, and I think it's my favorite of the entire Marvel Netflix series. That's like the only reason why I give it a slight edge over Daredevil Season 3, at least in my personal opinion. A similar thing is with SAO. Now, Vinland Saga, I think we can all agree, is objectively much better written and has far better characters. Thorfinn, Askeladd, Thorkel, everyone in Vinland Saga are amazingly written characters, and I think we can all agree, especially the plot, the storyline, and that's just a prologue, man. Yeah, man, but with all that being said, the reason why I like SAO Alicization more and why it is number 1 on my list, not only is it because SAO is my second favorite anime of all time, and Alicization is my favorite season of SAO, so from you look at that perspective, it makes sense for it to be number 1 on this list. But the main reason why is just because SAO Alicization really shows just how much Reki has grown. Because we have I'm sure there's tons of videos saying that Reki's a horrible writer, he doesn't know shit, blah 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 blah. I don't go the narrative. I do enjoy Reki's writing. It wouldn't be my second favorite anime if I didn't like the writing of SAO, if I didn't enjoy Reki's writing. I got my issues with his writing. I've mentioned this in past my SAO videos I've done, but we've to keep on, so you guys can check those out if you really want to go really down my thoughts on Reki and his writing, but everything. But with Alicization, but with really the start with Mother Rosario, where you could really see, oh shit, you know, Reki's actually a pretty good rider, you know. But with Alicization especially, I think it really showed off how good and how much Reki has improved since the start of the series. From it being almost Alicization in a weird way, it's almost like a soft reboot of the series does. When you really look at it, it's like they kept the cast small, focusing on only a handful of characters, Kirito, Asuna, Alice, Yujo, and a few others, as really your main cast that they focus on primarily. And then you have like, you know, the whole world of the underworld and all that shit, and you actually see Kirito losing. We see more in depth. We see more characterization from Kirito, and you know, of course, Asuna, best girl. You know, you got her. But really, with like Yujo and Alice especially, you can which were the two new characters that were introduced, and just from and the animation, of course, the animation. Oh god, the animation of Alice's Agent that shit was fucking god tier. But the storyline of Alicization and then Kirito and Yuzo trying to get to the top of the tower to figure out Alice and the administrator and all that shit. It was such an amazing ride, and you can really see throughout the entire series just how much Reki has improved as a writer, and you know, with his characterization, how he writes the characters, all of them. There isn't a character in Alicization that I would say I would straight up hate, at least from like the main cast. I love them all. Yujo and Alice especially. Yujo especially is probably one of my favorite characters in that series. He is such amazingly written, both from his performances, both the Japanese and the dub, both did fantastic jobs. So that is why SAO Alicization is my number one on my list. Objectively speaking, yes, Vinland Saga is better season, but I personally prefer SAO a little bit more, just not only from seeing just how much Reki, just not only from just my enjoyment of the series and from storyline and characters and everything, but just from seeing just how much Reki has improved as a writer in comparison to where he started with Aincrad to where he is now in Alicization. And I'm super excited for what we got happening next, because that cliffhanger fucking killed me, man. And when we got the next half of the Alicization coming out, whenever, I'm excited, man. So yeah, guys, that is my top 10 animes of 2019 list. Leave your thoughts down below in the comments. What was your list for this year? What were your animes? Do you agree with my list? Probably not, because of SAO over Vinland Saga. But anyway, guys, leave that all down below in the comments, and let's see what you guys got. But anyway, guys, that's where we're getting this video off. So anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Leave a like if you did, subscribe if you're new. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter if you like. Please tell the description box below. And as always, come back for more. See you guys next time.